Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick was born in 1963 in Van Nuys, California. He was a curious kid from a lower middle-class family, and he loved gadgets and puzzles. He went to Monroe High School. Later, he spent some time learning about computers at the University of Southern California. Before his bigger crimes, he was a phone freak. He learned how the phone system worked and found ways to make free calls by copying the right phone tones. When he was only 12 years old, he even made fake bus transfers so he could ride the bus for free. From a young age, he was good at finding tricks in systems and using them. In the 1980s and 1990s, his crimes became much bigger. He broke into the computer networks of large phone and technology companies, including Pacific Bell, Digital Equipment Corporation, and Motorola. He stole software and copied secret code. He also used social engineering. He would call workers and pretend to be a boss or someone from tech support to get passwords and access. He stayed on the run for a long time. He changed his name, hid his tracks, and hacked mostly for the excitement, not for money. The FBI called him one of the most wanted computer criminals. After years of chasing him, a hacker named Tsutomu Shimomura helped track him down. In 1995, FBI agents raided his apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina, and arrested him. He spent 5 years in prison, including time alone in a cell, and later he became a security consultant. Vladimir Levin. Vladimir Levin was born in the Soviet Union. He graduated from St. Petersburg's Technologichesky University with a degree in biochemistry and mathematics. Before his famous crime, he was a young programmer in Russia. He was interested in computer networks, but he was not a top-level hacker. He worked in IT and spent time experimenting with computers during the difficult years after the Soviet Union, when good opportunities were rare. In 1994, he carried out one of the first major online bank robberies. Using a laptop in St. Petersburg and later in London, he planned a heist against Citibank. He bought stolen Citibank customer codes and passwords from insiders. Then he logged into the bank's wire transfer system 18 times. He stole $10.7 million from corporate accounts and sent the money to people working with him in the United States, Finland, the Netherlands, Germany, and Israel. Citibank noticed the strange transfers and started a quiet investigation. Investigators followed the money trail and the people involved. In March 1995, Levin was arrested at London's Heathrow Airport during a layover. He was sent to the United States, found guilty of fraud, and sentenced to 3 years in prison. He was also ordered to repay $240,000. Most of the stolen money was recovered, but the case shocked the world and showed that banks could be robbed through computers. Albert Gonzalez. Albert Gonzalez was born in 1981 in Cuba, but he moved young and grew up in Miami, Florida. Before crime took over, he was a computer expert by age 12. He bought his first PC and got deeply into technology at South Miami High School. He led a small group of tech-obsessed friends. After a virus hit his computer, he became fascinated with how viruses worked. By 14, he hacked into NASA, and the FBI even came to his school because of it. His crimes reached their peak in the 2000s, when he became a leader of the Shadow Crew group. He and his team used methods like SQL injection and packet sniffers to break into major retail and payment networks, including TJX Companies, Heartland Payment Systems, and Hannaford Brothers. They stole more than 170 million credit and debit card numbers. The stolen data was sold on dark web markets and used for card cloning and fraud. In a strange twist, Gonzalez first worked as an FBI informant, joining hacker forums to help the government. But he betrayed that role and ran crimes on the side. In 2008, Secret Service agents raided his Florida home after online forum talk and digital trails pointed back to him. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison, which was the longest hacker sentence at that time. Evgeniy Bogachev. Evgeniy Mikhailovich Bogachev was born around 1983 in Russia and grew up in the coastal town of Anapa. Before he became well known, not much about his early life was public. He was said to be a skilled coder in his early 20s, living a comfortable life with his family and hobbies like boating. He started in underground forums, making tools to earn money. Around age 22, he created the Zeus malware in 2005. It was a banking Trojan that spread to computers around the world. It could record what people typed, get into bank accounts, and steal usernames and passwords. Later, he upgraded it into Game Over Zeus, which used a peer-to-peer botnet and infected many computers. It also became linked to ransomware like CryptoLocker. His group, sometimes called the Business Club, sold access and ran attacks. Some reports also claimed the group did spying work for Russia. In 2014, U.S. authorities and international partners disrupted the botnet in a major takedown. Investigators connected the operation to Bogachev by tracing online accounts and other digital clues, including information from Russian social media. Even with a $3 million reward offered for information, he is still believed to be free in Russia. Michael Calce. Michael Calce, known online as Mafia Boy, was born in 1984 in Le Bizard, Quebec, Canada. He grew up in a divorced family, with his father having custody on weekends. As a child, he got his first computer at age 6. His father brought it home from work to keep him busy. By age 9, he hacked AOL to extend a free trial, and he soon joined online hacker groups. In February 2000, when he was 15, he launched huge DDoS attacks from his bedroom. He took control of university servers and used them to send massive amounts of traffic. The attacks knocked major websites offline, including Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, CNN, and Dell. Online shopping and news sites went down for hours, and the damage cost millions. He bragged in chat rooms using the name Mafia Boy, chasing attention and respect in hacker circles. Investigators from the FBI and the RCMP followed IP addresses and chat logs back to his home. In 2001, he was arrested and charged with more than 50 counts. He was sentenced to 8 months in a youth group home, and also ordered to complete community service. Later, he left crime behind and became a white-hat security expert. Gary McKinnon. Gary McKinnon was born in 1966 in Glasgow, Scotland. He grew up fascinated by computers and UFO stories. He got his first computer at 14, left school to become a hairdresser, and later retrained in IT in the early 1990s so he could do contract work. By the late 1990s, he became obsessed with the idea that governments were hiding information about UFOs. That obsession pushed him from curiosity into action. From 2001 to 2002, he broke into more than 90 U.S. military and NASA computer systems. He used simple methods like remote access weaknesses and weak passwords to get in. After entering the systems, he searched for anything related to UFOs, scanned files, and deleted some data. Authorities also claimed he disrupted a military radar system after 9/11. Officials called it the biggest military hack ever at the time. In the UK, police traced the activity to an IP address linked to his girlfriend's apartment in London. He was arrested in 2002, but he fought extradition to the United States for around 10 years, saying he had Asperger's syndrome and that extradition would put him at serious risk. In 2012, the case was dropped and he remains free. Ray Butler. Ray Butler, also known online as Iceman, was born on July 10, 1972, in Meridian, Idaho. He grew up around computers. His father was a Vietnam veteran who owned a computer store, so Max was around machines from a young age. As a teenager, he hacked small bulletin board systems. In high school, he also got in trouble for stealing chemicals connected to drugs. He was caught and put on probation, and for a while he tried to stay mostly out of trouble. Later, he even worked with the FBI as a white-hat hacker. He helped expose illegal websites while also building his own security business called Max Vision. But behind the scenes, he was moving deeper into cybercrime. In the mid-2000s, using names like Iceman, he secretly took control of cardingforums.net, one of the biggest online marketplaces for stolen card data. His group used tools like packet sniffers and database attacks to steal about 1.8 million credit card numbers. Authorities said the stolen cards were worth about $86 million. They sold the data while Butler acted like a forum administrator and used that position to remove rivals. He hid the money through fake businesses and lived a high-end lifestyle in Newport Beach. The FBI later convinced a key partner, Chris Scott, to cooperate. During a meeting in Las Vegas in 2006, Scott wore a wire, and investigators gathered strong evidence. In October 2007, agents raided Butler's home in California and seized computers, servers, and luxury cars. In 2009, he was convicted on the Levin wire fraud charges. He was sentenced to 13 years in prison, which was described as the longest hacking sentence in U.S. history at the time, and he was ordered to pay $27 million back. He was released in 2016 and has mostly stayed quiet since then. Roman Seleznev. Roman Seleznev, known online as Track 2, was born on 1984 in Vladivostok, Russia. He was the son of Valery Seleznev, a member of Russia's State Duma, which gave him strong connections from the start. As a young teen, he entered the online cyber underground. He used names like NCLEX and learned mostly on his own. He did not have a formal IT degree. Instead, he learned through forums and online groups, including places like Carter Planet. From 2002 to 2013, using names like Track2 and NCLEX, he built a criminal operation focused on stealing payment card data. Investigators said he hacked point-of-sale systems and targeted hotels, using remote access weaknesses and malware. Over time, he stole more than 2 million credit and debit card numbers and sold the card data through underground markets. The profits were described as extremely large, in the range of tens of millions of dollars. Authorities said he also hid money through methods like casinos and shell companies, and they believed he used bribes as well. The U.S. Secret Service spent years connecting the attacks to him by following malware clues, server records, and forum activity. In July 2014, U.S. agents captured him while he was on vacation at a resort in the Maldives and brought him to the United States. He went to trial in 2016 and faced 38 felony charges, including bank fraud and identity theft, affecting thousands of institutions. He was sentenced to 27 years in prison and sent to ADX Florence. His father called the case political and said it was a kidnapping, but appeals did not change the outcome. Lazarus Group. The Lazarus Group first showed up around 2009. Many security groups and public sources link them to North Korea and to the Reconnaissance General Bureau, also called the RGB. Before the world really noticed them, reports say North Korea trained young, talented students for cyber work through special schools, including Mirim College, also called Mirim University. Some reporting says many teams worked from abroad, using places like China and other countries to run operations more easily. From 2009 onward, the group became known for mixing spying with money theft. In 2014, they were blamed for the Sony Pictures attack after the movie The Interview. In 2016, they were tied to the Bangladesh bank theft using Swift messages, where about $81 million was stolen. In 2017, WannaCry spread across many countries and caused huge damage. Over time, Lazarus and related teams were also linked to attacks on banks and to large crypto thefts. U.S. agencies and researchers say they connect the group by matching code tools, timing, and online systems used in the attacks. In 2018, U.S. prosecutors charged Park Jin-hyuk in a case that described links to Sony, Bangladesh Bank, and WannaCry. Later cases also named more North Korean military hackers. There have been no arrests in North Korea. The U.S. also uses reward programs for tips about foreign state-linked hackers, with rewards that can reach up to $10 million in some cases. Sanctions have also targeted networks that help North Korea earn money, but the attacks have continued under many names including Lazarus Group and APT-38. Kevin Poulsen. Kevin Poulsen was born on November 30, 1965, in Pasadena, California. He grew up in a middle-class family and became very good with electronics. As a teenager, he got a ham radio license and used the name Dark Dante. He studied at UC Berkeley for a time, but later focused more on phone systems and early computer networks. In the 1980s and early 1990s, he broke into Pacific Bell phone systems and used that access to rig radio call in contests. He made it so his call would get through at the right moment, helping him win prizes like a Porsche and large amounts of cash. In one famous contest in 1991, investigators said he and others tied up the station's phone lines so only selected calls could get in. Authorities also accused him of breaking into other systems, including phone company voicemail and sensitive government-related systems, mainly for excitement and status. The FBI treated him as a serious fugitive, and he went on the run for a period of time. In April 1991, he was arrested in the Los Angeles area after investigators had been tracking him. He later pleaded guilty to multiple counts related to fraud and illegal wire interception and served time in federal prison. After prison, he turned his life around and became a technology and cybersecurity journalist. He worked as an editor and reporter, including at Wired, and continued covering cybercrime and security for major publications.